Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
And the book came out of wanting to let other busy people know that this is something they could do and add to any spiritual practice they have, or anything really. So it's letting people re-own that they have this creative spirit and re-own that child that desperately wants to play and enjoy life rather than kind of see it as a drudgery.
Continue watching to find out more.
Yuangenoandue means, how have you been, in the Ainu language. I'm Haruzo. The Ainu, an indigenous people native to Russia's Sakhalin Island in northern Japan, wish that you always keep your innocent, childlike heart. Welcome to today's program, Healing Through Playing with Art. Art therapist Joan Stanford, vegan, part 2 of 3. Ms. Stanford is a board-certified art therapist, the author of The Art of Play, Ignite Your Imagination to Unlock Insight, Healing and Joy, and co-founder of the Mendocino Center for Living Well in Mendocino, California, USA. Joan has been facilitating creativity groups for over 20 years, encouraging people of all ages to expand their awareness through playing with art materials. She also offers imagination play shops at her wellness center. Art therapy is a distinct discipline that assists people in expressing their inner feelings through visual art media. It helps individuals to cope with stressful events or traumatic experiences, increase cognitive and sensory abilities, improve interpersonal relationships, and achieve greater self-fulfillment. Famed Spanish artist Pablo Picasso once said, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life." Austrian art therapy pioneer Edith Kramer has stated, "Since human society has existed, the arts have helped man to reconcile the eternal conflict between the individual's instinctual urges and the demands of the society. Thus, all art is therapeutic in the broadest sense of the word." Throughout the ages, humans have found art as a way of releasing and transcending emotions.
When you get into using art for personal expression, you don't want it to be product-based, you want it to be process-based. You want people to be in the process and not worry about perfection or what it looks like.
In the last episode, Ms. Stanford, a self-proclaimed non-artist, shared with us how art became an integral part of her life, the way she brings people into their childlike state of mind to start the art-making process, and the unforgettable experience of how art therapy helped a boy conquer his fear. Today, we will continue to introduce her publication and explore other beneficial aspects of art therapy. Joan discussed how she came up with the idea of writing her book, the seeds of which were planted by her children's music teacher, from whom Joan also began taking piano lessons. The teacher, who was also an expressive arts therapist, asked Joan to do a painting of Joan's missing inner child.
So I did this big face, and then I thought, well, what does a child have? A child has wide open eyes because they're taking in the world. So I made these wide rainbow eyes, and then I thought, I always loved barrettes when I was little, so I put yellow hair because I was blonde and put barrettes in there. Anyway, I did this whole thing, and I loved what I made. It was the first time I had this experience of just seeing something that came from within, just kind of following the process of what should I do next, and not having a lot of judgment, which is really hard but really key. So it was playing, it was totally playing, and it was activating this child spirit. And I loved this inner child. And the book came out of wanting to let other busy people know that this is something they could do and add to any spiritual practice they have, or anything really. So it's letting people re-own that they have this creative spirit and re-own that child that desperately wants to play and enjoy life rather than kind of see it as a drudgery.
Joan provides play shops for people to relax and release their tensions and negative emotions. Just simply having fun like a kid, enjoying the process, and being free from worrying about the final appearance of the art piece brings a sense of happiness that has been proven to be effective for addressing mental and emotional strains.
Because it opened up such a world for me and changed my attitude towards my own life, I wanted to invite other people, other busy people that would never consider playing with art materials. Playing, period, really. I mean, their lives are too stressful. So that's why I came up with the idea of offering play shops. And these people, you know, they come pretty much like a little intimidated sometimes, but just to play. I mean, I make it very clear there's no judgment, we're just going to have a good time. I do not call it therapy, even though I'm a registered art therapist, because I don't want to add that seriousness to it. I want to keep it light, but it's always therapeutic when you do something and have fun.
We'll now take a moment for a constructive message and be right back. Please stay tuned to Screenmaster Television. Welcome back to our program, Healing Through Playing with Art. Art therapist Joan Stanford, vegan, part 2 of 3. As we heard, art therapy helps people release emotions or deal with troubling experiences through the visual arts. In turn, people may expand their awareness of themselves through this method. Joan elaborates.
Imagery is evocative. I mean, we all know that from advertising and just from looking at a photograph, that old cliche, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And everybody has a response to an image or a song, and it's personal. I remember when I was doing an in-service at the school, I asked the staff to think of a tree, and the word tree is tree. But when people represented it or even just spoke it aloud, everybody had a different tree, and it comes out of their own memory bank. So if you ask someone to do something with imagery, it's pulling from that inner self. And to me, that's how it connects to being more aware of your own, projections, prejudices, misconceptions. It clarifies how you see the world because you're looking at it differently. You get more in touch with it. And the biggest thing, I think, in terms of how it increases awareness is it really makes you feel connected to the outer world because it starts to communicate one and the other, and you see that as you go through your day, it's a co-creative act. I mean, it isn't static. It isn't like we're one way and the world is out here. It's everybody that has any kind of sense of spirituality, you understand the mind, body, and all of that, but it really makes it real. It really makes it real.
In the process of art expression, following the heart is essential. Are there any suggestions to help keep ourselves centered to hear our inner voice?
I think having the commitment, having the intention that you want to do this, you want to explore, and creating little spaces in your day are really important. I don't like to make it a should. So if you think once a week I'm going to spend some time with myself, I'm going to journal, I'm going to do some collaging, I'm going to do some drawing, whatever. So I think making the commitment is huge, that you value it. So intention, I would say. And then the other thing is to really try to let it be a process, because that's very hard for us.
Art therapists guide people to express themselves imaginatively and to be honest with what they are feeling. It's the process of creating freely that matters, not necessarily the final artwork. As long as the uncomfortable or bothersome feelings and emotions are released, one has achieved the purpose of the therapy.
So you're really upset with your boyfriend. How does that make you feel? I mean, right now, show how that upset. Use the colors and the paper to express that upset. And sometimes they would just, grab a chalk pastel or something and almost like, desecrate it. They push really hard and it kind of flakes on the paper, and they might ball up the paper. I had a mother once come in that was really upset with her daughter, and I said, what do you want to do? And she said, I just want to feel in control. And so I gave her something to work with, and then she tore it up into shreds and threw it in the garbage, and it was like it took care of that.
Our thanks to Joan for taking the time to share her very insightful perspectives on and experiences with art therapy. Please join us again on Saturday, May 30th, for the final part of this program, Healing Through Playing with Art. Art therapist Joan Stanford, vegan, part 3 of 3. We will continue to learn how creativity influences our wellness and about the importance of embracing our imagination. For more information about Joan Stanford and her book, The Art of Play, please visit joanstanford.com. loving viewers. We are honored to have you with us for our program today. Up next is Follow You, Part 2 of 4 on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May you always follow your inner wisdom to live a joyful life.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/HL.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/HL.